Assalamu alaikum, welcome everyone. Hello, welcome. We are doing part 2 of November 2023 paper 3, and we went through quite a few things last time. We went through all the quick questions, and then we left the easy, longer questions or the medium difficulty ones. So this was the order in which we were doing it. And so today's session, we will continue going through them and finishing the things that we kind of skipped. So here is question 3. Off you go. Okay, so question number 8. The diagram shows a solid cube placed on a horizontal table. So we've got this cube. The pressure on the table due to the cube is 3.5 newtons per centimeter squared. The force exerted by the cube on the table is 504 newtons. Show that the total area of the cube is less than 900 centimeters squared. So a few things. So step 1, I am going to be using this formula. Use pressure, force, area formula. Now these type of questions, they don't give you answers straight away. So if we go through the information again, or before I do that, I'll put my force at the top and pressure area at the bottom. You will see something is incomplete. So the pressure on the table is 3.5 newtons. The force exerted by the cube on the table is 504, so 504. So we have got area missing. So we will obviously work out area. So show that the total surface area of the cube is less than that. So step 2 is using that, we'll find the area. Now, if you notice this area and what the question is saying is slightly different. First of all, it's saying show, so it's giving us the answer, the total surface area. So what this area represents is one side. So from that, I need to look at my next step will be the total surface area. Okay, so let's go through these steps. So we've got our area is there. So if we have 504 divided by 3.5, what does that give us? Let's get our calculator out. Gives us 144. And if we look at our units, it's centimeter squared. Now, that's one area. If you think about it, a cube, how many? So what is this area? 144 represents this base here. That's what that represents. So I need to think about my total surface area. So I've got a bottom part here. I also have a top. So they're going to be the same. Then I've got the right-hand side and the left-hand side. And then I've got the front and the back. So all together, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. So my next step is to do 144 times by 6. And that gives me 864. And if you look at the question says the total surface area is less than 900. So 864 centimeter squared is less than 900 centimeter squared. Okay, so that is our question done, and that is worth 3 marks. 3 marks. So let's add that to our tally. We did do a tally before, so let's add that to our tally. So we were on, so 3 marks, 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So we're on 40 marks, which gets us to a grade 6. Okay. And if you're wondering, if you are new to the channel, you can go to the previous session here, and you can see under, that is the previous video. And if you look at the description, we have timestamps, so you can go to the relevant questions, and also, you don't have to watch all of it. You can go to specific sections and just go back and look at the answers and things like that very quickly to save you time. So that's a little feature that you can use. Let's go to the next question. Question 7, 8 we answered. The next one is question 12. Let's go to question 12. And the description, in the description of this video is links to the exam paper so that you can download it. And off you go. Okay, question 12 is worth 2 marks. Question 12. The diagram shows a shaded sector POQ of a circle with center O and radius 6.2. So we've got this sector here, and we've got 6.2 centimeters. That's our radius. The area of the shaded sector is 82.6 centimeters squared. Calculate the size of angle X. Give your answer correct to 3 significant figures. So step 1, I'm going to recall my formula, which is, if you think about a circle is pi r squared. Pi r squared, the area of a circle. Sector is, I add the angle out of 360. So I multiply that by pi r squared. So that's my formula. And step 2, I substitute my values, and then work backwards, because I'm working out the angle. Okay, so so this is my formula. Sector equals the angle divided by 360 times by pi r squared. Let me make that clear. So here my sector is 82.6 equals my angle X divided by 360 times by pi times by radius is 6.2 squared. So if I'm going backwards, I can bring this 360 to the top, which is the same as saying 82.6 times by 360. And then all of this is going to be opposite of multiplying is dividing. So I divide by pi times 6.2 squared. That gives me X. So X equals 2, and I just put that into my calculator. 82.6 times by 360 divided by pi times 6.2 squared. And that gives me 246.2347 ... And this is saying to 3 significant figures, 1 significant, 2 significant, 3 significant figures. And so this is now 246. Okay, my 2 rounds down to 246. And if you get the same answer, or if you've got a similar answer, well done. That's 2 more marks. Let's add that to the tally. 1, 2. So we're on 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 42 marks. So we are 7 marks from a grade 7. Question number 13 we did. So again, previously we did that. Actually, before I go through that, this 50-50 chance it could come up in paper 2 or paper 3. Cumulative frequency, 99% sure, paper 2 or paper 3. I did mention that before. Quadratic sequence, question 14, we've done 50-50 chance appearing in our paper. Question 16 is combination, so we went through that. Question 17, now if you were with me in my earlier session today, we covered a topic like this, so this should be quite straightforward. I will also have a go at this while I catch up on the messages on chat. Off you go. Okay, if you need more time, press pause. So this looks similar to what we've done before, but it's not the same. This is, you look at this, question 17a, part 1, write x squared take away 8x plus 3 in the form x take away a all squared take away b, where a and b are integers. So this is completing the square. So we have a few steps. So step 1 is we half the b term. And then step 2 is I subtract step 1 term, I'll put it in bracket, squared. Step 3 is what is step 3? I then kind of follow through with this, plus 3. Half the b term, and then I should add squared. Okay, so this should be quite straightforward. So you got, this is our b term. So half of 8 is 2, half of 8 is 4. 8 divided by 2 is 4 rather. So we've got x minus 4 all squared. So half the b term squared. So you got, because it's a minus, we minus it, x minus 4 all squared. Step 2 is minus the s1 term. So it's 4 minus 4 squared. Hope that makes sense. And then you got plus 3. And now we carry on with this. X minus 4 minus 4 squared is 16 plus 3. That just becomes x minus 4 all squared minus 16 plus 3 is minus 13. Again, it's a calculator paper. Use that on your in your calculator if you're not sure. Okay, part B. Okay, part B. So we have write down the coordinates of the turning point on the graph. So we're taking this part here from part 1, x minus 4, take away 13. So what do I need to do to this bracket to make it equal to 0? So it has to be 4. 4 take away 4 gives me 0. Okay, so that's my x coordinate 4. And this is my y coordinate. The y coordinate stays the same, so it's minus 13. So nice, easy marks there. Question 17, part B. I'll give you a few moments for that. I'm seeing a few messages on chat. I'll go through them shortly. Okay, question 17, part B. If you need more time, then obviously press pause, and when you're ready, press play. The key to this question is, this is our, let me write the question. Solve 7x squared plus 8x take away 5 equals to 0. Give your solutions correct to 3 significant figures. So you've got 7x squared plus 8x take away 5 equals to 0. It's in the form ax squared plus bx plus c. So the good thing is we have a formula. We don't need to memorize our formula. So this is the quadratic formula. So step 1 is I identify A, B, C. Identify A, B, C. Step 2 is I substitute. And then step 3 is I round to 3 significant figures. So if I copy out my formula, so what is my A? A is 7. What is my B? You can see B is 8. What is my C? It's minus 5. So I've got that. Now I'm going to use my formula here from the formula sheet. X equals to minus B plus minus square root B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. And so now it's just a case of putting in these numbers. X equals to, my B is minus 8 plus square root 8 squared, take away 4. I'll just use brackets. A is 7 and then C is minus 5. All over 2 bracket A is 7. Notice I've done a plus here. I'm going to do the same thing again, but with minus. So minus 8, take away all of that on my calculator. 8 squared minus 4 bracket 7 minus 5 all over 2 bracket 7. Okay, so let's type that in. So it's just a case of making sure we type in the numbers properly on the calculator. Minus 8 plus square root 8 squared, take away 4 bracket 7 bracket minus 5 close bracket all over 2 bracket 7. So double check everything is correct, and then press the SD button, change it to 0.448775 ... That's enough. Then I can go back and I can change the plus to a minus now. Okay, I've got my delete button. And then I change that to a minus. And then that becomes x equals minus 1.59163 ... Okay, you have to be familiar with your calculator. And it says to 3 significant figures. Now, if it starts with a 0, we ignore it. It's a little bit cheeky with this question, actually. So you've got 1, 2, 3 figures, then the 7 rounds up. So you've got x equals to 0.449. And the next one, 1, 2, 3 significant figures. So it becomes minus 1.59. The 1 rounds down to that. So that is our answer. X equals to this and x equals to that. So that is worth another 3 marks there. Hope you got that. Let's move on to the next part, part C. There we are. And again, if you need more time, press pause. Question 17, part C. Alex has to find the solutions of the quadratic equation 3k squared plus 10k take away 8 equals to 0. Here is his working an answer. You've got this, k equals to that. What mistake has Alex made? So first of all, you've got the brackets, his factorization, that could be wrong. and then in terms of going from the brackets to the answer. So let's do the easy part first, which is the brackets. So you've got 3k take away 2 equals to 0. The minus 2 goes to the other side, makes it 2. So 3k equals to 2. Then we divide by 3 both sides. Divide by 3 both sides. So k equals to 2 over 3. So you can see that is the mistake that Alex has made. In terms of how do we write that down, we can just, I mean, this was the first sentence, so that's what I will write down. Alex did not use 3k minus 2 equals to 0 properly. Say what you see. So that's what I've done. So something like that should be sufficient as well. Okay, I hope you got that. So that's worth a nice 7 marks there. This question is not as difficult as could be. Let's just analyze this for a second. Sometimes this kind of question, part B, will be in a problem-solving scenario. So you need to be familiar with that, or you need to be aware of that. Sometimes they'll give like a geometry, like a rectangle or something like that, or some sort of problem-solving where you'll end up with this, and from there you get to use the formula. So this type of question, very straightforward. So if you do get that, you're very lucky. So just remember that. Hope that's clear. So let's add the 7 marks to our tally. Let's see how many marks we are on at the moment. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 20, 45, 49 marks. We've just hit our grade 7. So well done if you've got grade 7 there. Just checking the comments. It's good to know that my time doing these live lessons is beneficial for you, so you are very welcome. And in terms of how often will I do these live sessions, I plan to do one every day until your next exam, which is tomorrow, and then paper 3. So maybe not tomorrow night, because you'll have some rest. I might need some rest as well. But it's good to revise a little bit every day. So I will do a little bit of revision tomorrow, which is Monday, and then every day until the next exam, paper 3. So after paper 3, I'll stop these live lessons. Hope that's all right and clear. And if you are benefiting, remember to share this with your friends. Right, question 18A is worth 2 marks. So I'd have to zoom out a little bit. I haven't done this type of question as often. I think I may have done it once. So I will take a little bit of time explaining this question. Question 18A, off you go. Okay, so this question is hopefully quite straightforward to do if you know how to do this, but in terms of explanation will take a bit of time. So let me get cracking. If you need more time, obviously press pause. Question 18A, we have a diagram here. Part A, enlarge triangle P by scale factor -1.5. So this is important. With center of enlargement -2, -1. Label your image Q. So a few things we need to do with this question. So step 1 is I need to identify my center of enlargement, which is -2, -1. I hope you can see this writing here in between the boxes. Step 1. Step 2 is I am going to identify these points. Okay, so I've got these 3 points here. So step 2 is I will put these 3 points as vectors. Points as vectors. Step 3 is then I'm going to multiply by the scale factor. Multiply step 2 by step 2 by scale factor. Okay, once I've done that, then I'm gonna, step 4 is plot them. Okay, so I hope that's clear. So let's do step 1, -2, -1. So you've got x and y. So along the corridor, -2, up or down the stairs, -1. So -2, -1 is here. So that's step 1. Let me label these as A, B, C, these 3 points. So let's go to A. So I'm going to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 jumps. So A is to the left, so -6, and then I'm jumping up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, hope that's clear. And then same thing with point B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 jumps to the left, -6, and then 2 jumps up, +2. And for C, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 jumps to the left, -4, and then 2 jumps up. So I've done my step 2, points as vectors. Part 3 is I multiply by the scale factor. So my scale factor is -1.5. So when I can use my calculator for this, -6 times -1.5, 6. So that's 9. The other one becomes -9. But let me just do that with my calculator. It is a calculator paper. Don't take any risks. If you're tired mentally, especially this is towards the end of an exam paper, get your calculator out and use it. So you got that. All right, so the next one becomes negative, becomes a positive. So that's 9 again. That becomes -3. The next one becomes negative, becomes positive. So that's 6 and -3. So now I can plot these points. So the first one is 9 across, 9 down. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 jumps. And then 9 jumps down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I'm using a pen. Use a pencil in case you make a mistake. Your counting can go wrong. And then you can always rub it out. And the next one is 9 across, then 3 down. 1, 2, 3. I can label this B dash, A dash, B dash. And the next one is 6 across, 3 down again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3 down here. Okay, so that's my C dash, if you like. And now I just need to connect the points. Connect the points here and here and there. There we are. And then remember what the question said. Label your image Q. So this is Q. So this is worth 2 marks. Let's add that to our tally. 1, 2. So we are now on 20, 45, 51. So we have banked our grade 7. 7 more marks to get to a grade 8. So well done if you are here. Part B of 18 does require some tracing paper, which I don't have handy, unfortunately. So I'm going to skip that, sadly. Right, let's go to question 19. A question in chat. If you go to the description of this video, you should be able to download this paper. So hope that is clear. Question 19 is worth a lot of marks. This question is worth, it's not even on this page, it's on the next page, it's worth 4 marks. They've given a lot of space for a question that is worth 4 marks. So off you go. I'll give you a bit of time for that. Question 19. If you need more time, then press pause. I'm going to make a start. So this one is quite a lot of things going on. So question 19, I've got a diagram here. The diameter is 24. I've got a height there. I've got two formulas here, so these formulas will be very handy. Okay, so question 19. The diagram above shows a frustum F of a cone. The frustum is made by removing a cone with a height 10 centimeters from a solid cone with height 15 centimeters and base diameter 24. So all of this is really just this diagram. A lot of gibberish, if you like, just to represent that diagram. The solid S is made by removing F from a solid hemisphere as shown in the diagram below. So we've got this. The hemisphere has diameter 24, so we've got that diagram there. Calculate the volume of solid S. Give your answer correct to 3 significant figures. So you've got lots of information going on. Now, if your target grade is 4 to 6, there is a method mark here. And usually, just applying this formula or this formula will get you that method mark. So if you are one of those people who leaves these pages blank, just follow this formula. And it's almost guaranteed that you'll get a method mark, or kind of apply this. So you can see you've got a cone there, sphere here, but you've got a hemisphere here, half of that. So all you have to do is take this sphere and half it. That's potentially a method mark. You've got this cone here, you've got this diagram, it's saying 5 here, and also if you carry on reading, I didn't highlight, the frustum is made by removing a cone with height 10 centimeters. So this here is 10. Okay, what's the radius here? The radius here would be half of this, which is 12. So again, if you just use this information and applied it to this formula here, that's a method mark. So if you are someone who leaves this question blank, try that while I go through it. Right, so let's now break this question down into steps. What are the steps? So step 1 is that I have to find out what this frustum is. So I'm going to use similarity here. So this, if I kind of break this down into 2 triangles, I've got a small triangle here, and I've got a large triangle there. So using similarity, find the frustum, find F. What else? So that's one thing. So then using that step 2, step 2 will be using the volume of the cone. Volume of cone. Now we're going to have a big one take away a small one. So we're going to have volume big take away volume small. So that's going to be interesting. The next step is it's saying that the solid is made by removing F, so it's the small part, from the hemisphere. So using that, we are saying the solid S is made by removing F from a solid hemisphere as shown in the diagram. So we need the volume for this hemisphere. So volume of hemisphere. And then once we have this hemisphere, we've got to take away that other part. So step 4, step 3, take away F. And then that will give us our answer. So there's a lot going on there. Hopefully I can get cracking now. So we've got this. If all of this is 15, if all of this is 15 and this part is 10, what's the scale factor here? So what am I multiplying by? So I'm going to be multiplying or dividing by, so going from smaller one to the bigger one, multiplying by 1.5. Just use your calculator, just do 15 divided by 10, gives you 1.5. So you've got that. So you're multiplying or divided by 1.5. Should be divide here. Divide by 1.5. And so what's your base of your smaller triangle? So let me put this here as a cone. My radius here is 12. My height is 15. And then for the other one, I have a smaller one where my radius becomes, which is what I need to work out. I need to do 12 divide. I'm going from the big one to the small one. So 12 divided by 1.5. What is that? 12 divided by 1.5 gives me 8. Okay, so that's going to be 8, and that height is going to be 10. All right, so now let's use the formula. So the cone for the big one is here, a third pi r squared h. Put that into my calculator. 1/3 times pi times 12 squared times by 15. That gives me 720 pi. So I'll keep it in terms of pi for now. And the other one, the V cone, the smaller volume is going to be 1/3 times pi times 8 squared times by 10. Put that into my calculator and just go back, change these numbers. 10. The other one was 8. Pi times 8 squared times 10 gives me 640/3 pi. Okay, so I've got that. And then I need to take these volumes away. So I need to take the big one, take away the small one, so that it shows a frustum. So F equals VB, take away V small of the cone. So this is 720 pi, take away 640/3 pi. That gives me an answer. So I'll put this bracket, 720 times by pi, close bracket, take away bracket, 640 divided by 3, close bracket, times by pi. I shouldn't have cancelled my numbers. It would have been easier to do. So that gives me 1520 pi, 20/3 pi. Or let's use a number, we can change it to 1591.74. Let's keep that there for now. So that's my step 1 and step 2 done. Now we need to look at the volume of the hemisphere. So if we use the sphere, we're just halving that formula. So the volume of the hemisphere, equals half. And then I'm going to be using the volume of the sphere. So half times 4/3 times pi times radius cubed. So my radius for this is going to be 12. So I've got half times 4/3 times pi times radius is 12 cubed. That gives me, put this into my calculator, 1/3 times 1/2 times pi times 12 cubed gives me 288 pi. 288 pi. Is that correct? It doesn't look right. Let me double check that. Half 1/2 times 4/3. Put the wrong number there. 4/3 times by pi times by 12 cubed. 1152. That looks right now. So that's 1152 pi. So I've got my volume of the hemisphere, and now my step 4 is I need to subtract these two to find out the volume of S. S equals volume over H, take away the frustum. So it's 1152 pi, take away 1520 over 3 pi. So S equals to, I haven't cancelled this, cleared this, which is good. So I just need to do take away bracket 1520 divided by 3, close bracket, times by pi, close bracket, gives me 1936 over 3 pi. And then I can change this, press the SD button, that's 2027.374. Notice I'm doing this only at the end. The question says 3 significant figures, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to be rounding my 7 up. So it's 202 becomes 3. So it's 2030. That is my final answer. So I've tried to do everything in this on this page, so you don't have to go back and forth on this. So that's worth 4 marks. So it's a lot of work there, and it's kind of question 19 towards the end of a paper. So this is kind of going into A-level kind of territory, grade 9, 8, 9 territory. But you can get these 1 or 2 marks just by using this formula. So please don't just skip these questions. Please make sure you substitute the numbers. The formula is given to you. Just replace these numbers and just apply it. So you can see it's a sphere. This is a hemisphere. So you need to, whatever you do here, half it. Here you've got a cone somehow. So it's not going to tell you do this, but it's kind of inviting you to do that. So please make sure you do that. And notice I'm not rushing. I'm really doing this slowly. So take your time. The easy questions, the quick questions, you're saving time on those quick questions, and then that's helping you to spend more time on these harder questions. So 1, 2, 3, 4 marks, 20, 45, 55 marks. We're 3 marks away from a grade 8. All right, so if you are joining live, I will do another session hopefully, so welcome. Let's go on to the next question, question 19, 20 rather. Remember to like the video if you haven't already. Just looking at the chat, any other questions? I misread the foundation paper. Foundation paper, I don't have access to it at the moment, but because we're doing a higher paper, that's what I have given you in the description of the video. All right, question 20. All right, starts off nice and straightforward, this one. So I'll give you a few moments to do that. Off you go. Question 20A. If you need more time, press pause. So you've got the turning point on the graph of y equals gx has coordinates this. So you can imagine a turning point along the corridor, up and down the stairs. -3, 6 would be somewhere here. So it's either like this, a U shape or Y shape, whatever, N shape. But what the point is, we have this point here. Write down the coordinates of the turning point on the graph of y equals g minus x. So what we have is our x and our y. And here it's opposite. So if you have a x minus, we're adding 7. And the y stays the same. That's what's going on with our coordinates. So you've got -3. If you add 7, this becomes 4. And the y coordinate is 6. That stays as it is. So this one here, if you know the rules, this is very easy. If you don't know the rules, then it's a bit more complicated. So just, if it's inside brackets, it's opposite. The signs are opposite. So because it's -7, you're doing +7. So I hope that makes sense. Next question now. This one is question 20, part B. Let me zoom out a little bit.